Hello and welcome to my innovative project proposal. My name is Willis, a student at Bremen University. The purpose of this presentation is to answer 5 questions. What is the problem? What is known about the problem? Who did we collaborate with? What mobile app is proposed to solve the problem? And why is this solution innovative? The problem. So we're going to be looking at out-of-hospital cardiac arrest. It's the leading cause of death in people over 40 in the United States and worldwide. We know that currently bystanders provide CPR in only 46% of these cases, and an AED is brought to the scene in only 2% of the cases. So the problem is the need to increase bystander participation in out-of-hospital cardiac arrest. So what do we know about this problem? Well, we know that EMS personnel respond to over 350,000 cardiac arrests each year in the United States. And out of those cases, only about 1 out of 10 survive. Victims are 3 times more likely to survive if a bystander initiates CPR, and 4 times more likely to survive if an AED is brought to the scene for a shockable rhythm. So in the past, some of the things that have been used to try to increase bystander CPR has been telephone-assisted CPR, where the dispatcher will provide direction to the person at the scene. The American Heart Association updates guidelines every 5 years, and they instituted a hands-only CPR campaign in order to try to get people more interested. There's been studies where video reminders were placed on mobile phones to help people retain CPR and AED skills, and this has had promising results. They've also increased the number of AEDs that are in the public, and they studied providing dispatchers with maps of where these AEDs are and had the dispatchers encourage people to the location of an AED, but found that there was low compliance with that method. They've also studied having text messaging alert for volunteers to go to the scene, and they did find that that helped improve survival rates. So, with whom did collaboration occur? Taking into consideration my social network map, I identified 3 different departments that might be of benefit in collaboration and came up with 3 collaborators. An officer who used to be a dispatcher, a fireman, and an RN who had EMS experience. The officer, who had been a dispatcher, provided excellent technical insight. She was familiar with the computer-aided dispatch and in fact had assisted in the development of some of that system at our facility. She was able to discuss how that system is maintained locally, how it was used in the community in the past but is now more isolated to our facility. It is integrated with some of the law enforcement throughout the state and local, as well as integrated with the facility's personal duress alarm system. She wasn't familiar with Pulse Point, but recognized similarities to our alarm system that we have locally. We came up with that integration into that call center would not really be feasible. It's already integrated into a community call center in San Luis Obispo. We may want to consider agencies in surrounding areas in order to broaden the net and also recruit end users. The firemen provided focus and framing. This fireman does respond to community calls using the same standards and protocols set throughout the county. He was familiar with San Luis Obispo's rollout of Pulse Point service and found it had good public acceptance. He was able to discuss the resources in the area and how they are kind of limited, and how we do have quite a few people that come to the area for wine industry, to the fairgrounds, to the concerts that we have in the area, and just overall as a vacation destination. Taking into consideration these limited resources and high number of travelers, he felt that the proposal should focus on agencies and their ability to respond and conform to American Heart Association guidelines for chances of survival. And he felt that, looking to the public for assistance was a great alternative resource, and that as far as agency startup costs, any cost is worthwhile in order to save a life. The RN with EMS experience had community resource knowledge and brought a nursing perspective. This RN provides first response for patient and staff emergencies within the facility, and as mentioned earlier, had EMT experience. He really felt strongly that the community involvement increased survival rates, and that it was good for the patient and it brought the community together. And his take was to focus on motivation. Like for an agency, they may see this app or use of this app as a performance improvement project. And our facility does have about 2,000 employees, all of who are CPR certified, which really creates a good pool of volunteers. So we want to consider the individual motivation, and whether it be a filling of duty or gratification of helping others. He felt that promoting that heroism and maybe even being able to tap into the emotional appeal, such as if we could find someone who had been personally saved by the app, and find them to present the information, he felt that would be a strong message. The proposed solution to this problem is the PulsePoint Respond mobile application. Please take a moment to watch the following introductory video, compliments of the PulsePoint organization.
This is Joel. He just suffered a sudden cardiac arrest. He isn't the only one. Today, 1,000 people in the United States will have the same experience. Time is now critical. As a call is placed to emergency dispatch, the clock continues to tick. Emergency responders are several minutes away. Unfortunately, several minutes can be too long. For every minute Joel goes unaided, his chance of survival decreases by 10%. Fortunately, Joel lives in a PulsePoint connected community. PulsePoint is integrated with his community's emergency dispatch. The moment Joel's emergency call came in, a PulsePoint alert went out, connecting nearby CPR-trained volunteers and AEDs to his location. Meet Scott, an off-duty firefighter out running errands, and Donna, a financial planner, working next door. Because they were nearby and quickly alerted, they're now able to provide life-saving care until emergency responders arrive. That initial care made all the difference. This is Joel. He's a sudden cardiac arrest survivor. Armed with PulsePoint, any volunteer can help save a life. Become a life-saving volunteer and download PulsePoint today.
So let's look at why this solution is innovative. PulsePoint Respond provides context-specific mobile communication via digitized application convergence. Along with that, there are the CPR and AED how-tos that have been shown as effective reminders. It addresses a shortcoming in other studies where it's an automated process and not dependent upon the dispatcher. And, it incorporates in there messaging alert functions that have been shown to be effective. PulsePoint Respond creates a new value facilitated network where what's traded among the community members are life-saving skills, and it's all made possible by mobile technology. It is a solution that takes this mobile technology and it addresses a community health issue through collaboration and also by community member empowerment. Thank you for taking the time to view my presentation.